Hello everyone, I'm AnimusJ. Welcome to another Minecraft video.
Hello everyone, I'm AnimusJ and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today we are in the Redstone testing world, and if you want to know anything about all of these things, I have an entire playlist with almost all of these things in it. Check it out. So today's tutorial is going to be a 2-wide basalt bridge builder, an automatic one. Basically it's a flying machine that creates a 2-wide basalt bridge for you. It's actually a pretty simple machine to build, so if I just fire it off, you can see that we get a nice little 2-wide bridge. Now these blocks are just because those are where we were building it at, and this isn't the biggest lake in the world, I know, but it does its job. So you have a nice danger-free 2-wide basalt bridge to build across even the largest of lava lakes. So a couple of notes before we get into the tutorial is that if you have falling lava like this in the path of your bridge builder, it is going to spread that lava when it goes underneath it, and it will stay spread, which is of course not ideal. So try to pick a location that isn't going to spread some lava. The other thing is that if you are building it through a corridor like this one where the blocks are going to touch, basically you can't let any of the observers get stuck on anything. So if it's anything this low, then that's not going to work because your flying machine is going to get stuck on it. The other thing is if it's too narrow, of course your slime blocks will get stuck on it as well. And then if you have too high up of blocks underneath your lava that you can't see, it'll get stuck under there as well. That's not generally a problem except for where you might be building it. So before you start building it, a good safe thing to do is to come out and just use your pickaxe to break down at the lava layer like that, but maybe without falling in. In the beginning of the tutorial, I am going to have you put out 3 obsidian blocks like that. So if you get out your pickaxe and then just look down and just break any kind of blocks like that, it should help you to be pretty safe. But at the same time, another reason that I have you do the obsidian blocks is it helps you get into the deeper part of the lava. And that should do it for any kind of hang-ups. And if you get stuck at any point, check the pinned comment and join the Discord in order to find out where you might be able to get some help from. Okay, so let's go over how to build this thing in the Nether, and it is going to be relatively dangerous, but also I'm going to tell you how to do it in the safest way possible, okay? So the first thing you need to do is you need to be on the same level as your lava, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and break these blocks down so that if I step out at all, I'm going to be in the lava. Now, of course, please don't step out. Please stay on land. Now, you can use either slime blocks or honey blocks, either one, it does not matter. Just make sure whichever one you use all of the same, okay? Now, what we're going to do, once you're at the same level as your lava, what I want you to do is wherever you want your bridge to be, the left side of your bridge, go ahead and put an obsidian block and then another obsidian block, both of those in the lava, just like I've placed, and that is where your bridge is going to be. Now, what I want you to do is come over to the right of it and come out by 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now then, what you're going to do is take your soul soil, make sure it is soul soil, that's not interchangeable, place it right there on the far left in front of your obsidian, and then you're going to go out by 2 slime blocks, 1 and 2, come up by 1 slime block. And then for the purpose of this tutorial, whenever you see a chiseled quartz block like this one, what that represents is a throwaway block, a block that basically is not actually part of the build and has to be broken. It absolutely has to be broken. Okay, come up by 1 more slime block, so you should have 2 blocks out, 2 blocks up. We're going to put a throwaway block on top of that, and then what you're going to do is you're going to come underneath that and you're going to put a regular piston facing down. And then you're going to come over, break your throwaway block, and what I want you to do is line yourself up 1 block in front of your slime blocks, and then you're going to put another slime block like that, so it should be diagonal from your build. This is actually a part of the forward part of the flying machine, but the easiest way to put it is to put it right now. Alright, now what I want you to do, step on that slime block, being careful not to jump so you don't bounce around. Look at the top of that piston and place your observer, and it should place facing the proper direction where the redstone is going down into the slime block. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come back, you're going to put your soul soil like that so we have them diagonal from each other. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to put a slime block right underneath your piston, and then you're going to put blue ice right there and right there. Let's go ahead and put a button on our piston, power it. That's going to put our flying machine into the place that it needs to be. Go ahead and break your piston. Next, I want you to come out onto your obsidian platform out here. You're going to take some throwaway blocks, put 2 out from your slime block right there. You're going to break the middle one, turn around, and you're going to put a sticky piston facing into your slime block just like I've done. Go ahead and break that throwaway block, you don't need it anymore. Facing the ice block, you're going to put a regular piston so that it faces forward, and then what you're going to do is you're going to put another slime block right there. Next, go ahead and hop up on top of your piston, and you're going to build up by 3. 1, 2, and 3. Break both of those. Now look up at that top block. You're going to put an observer so that the redstone side is facing down. And then what you can do is take a piston looking at your throwaway block as well. Place it so that it's facing down. You don't need your throwaway block anymore, but you do need a slime block there. And very important, we're going to come back and we're going to put an obsidian block right here. And you don't actually need it so long as you do everything the way that I've told you, but if you're worried, you can put another obsidian block right there in order to prevent it from moving forward. Now this one is necessary because when we push this down into place, it's going to power the piston, which is going to push this back, and this slime block being present is going to mess everything up. And not only that, this may get pushed back into other blocks because there's soil underneath and an air gap, plus you have the basalt right there. And so many times when I was experimenting, that is what messed me up and caused me to go wrong. So with our obsidian in place, I'm going to put a button. I'm going to push my observer into place. Don't need that slime block anymore. Don't need my piston anymore. And believe it or not, we are completely ready to go. So I'm going to break the obsidian. We don't need to break this one. And then what I'm going to do is put anything on top of this observer, and there we go. It's going to start going, and it's going to start building your too long bridge or too wide bridge. Now this hole is because of where the slime block was, but the rest of it is going to just keep on going. This isn't the biggest lava lake in the world, but you know, it works. And there we have it. Now I'm out on the other side. No elytra necessary, no kind of dangerous blocking out necessary. Now, of course, that was a small one. Might be able to just get across that one easier in the amount of time it took to build the machine. But if you get really quick at building the machine, who knows? But if you have a giant lava lake, you probably don't want to be pillaring out the old-fashioned way. Okay, so let's build this thing in the redstone testing overworld so that you guys have an idea what it looks like, and you can slow this video down and freeze it at any time in order to see what's happening. But here's what we're doing. The first block we're starting with is this soil right here, and then what we're doing is we're building this kind of C shape out of the slime blocks. Now the other soil goes right here, and then your blue ice goes like this, okay? So I'm just gonna give you a nice look around that so you can get a good idea of what's going on, because I know the first time you're gonna follow it probably step by step, but in other times that you're gonna build it, you're gonna try to build it from memory. And believe it or not, I don't want you to have to come back to my videos all the time. Purpose of my videos is to teach you guys and help you guys be able to do your own things. I would love to have you subscribe and watch all my videos, but I'd also rather you be a great Minecrafter who didn't need to be taught things all the time. So then the next thing is that this regular piston goes here, and that's what's going to push your flying machine forward. Now that one block that we do, which is diagonal, it goes right here. And the reason that this block has to be here is it stops the lava from being an actual source block, so that by the time this part gets here, the lava gets to here, it's running, and it creates the basalt. So then another slime block goes on top of there, and that's what pushes this. So if I put a button here, you can see it pushes that part away. And then over on this side, what we have is we have the sticky piston facing in, like so. And then we have the observers, which go over top of the two slime blocks. So let me just give you guys a good idea of the two separate pieces of the flying machine, and I can do that using a lever. So there we go. So this entire half is the trailing edge of the flying machine, and then this part right here is the pulling edge, and that's why this one has the sticky piston and this one has the regular piston. So then the last thing that we need to do is to add in the observers, and the observers go facing down and they go over top of the sticky, or excuse me, over top of the slimes. Now the reason that pulled in was because I broke the slime that was over top of the observer. And again, if you want to know more about how flying machines work, I do have a video about that, about how to build flying machines in Bedrock Edition, the premise on how they work and all of that stuff. Link should be popping up right now, or should have already popped up. I don't think I can make multiple links to the same video. And there we go, there we have it. So with that in place, this is your finished product right here. And as you can see that I forgot, make sure you have your obsidian in place to be able to stop it. Now, the reason that we have the back obsidian piece when we push this observer into place is because if you don't, what will happen, let me just demonstrate to you guys, is you can see it pushes like that. And then what happens is that if you have any other kind of blocks scattered around on your shore, it'll merge with those blocks. Okay, well, it didn't do it that time. There we go. It merges with those blocks and it pushes them into place, and you end up losing your soul soil. That's what kept happening to me while I was testing. Okay, so make sure when you're building it that you use your safeties, put obsidian there, and then it's usually helpful to put it here in case you mess things up as well. On the front end, actually, it can be literally anywhere. Any one of these front blocks you can put your obsidian in front of. Now, if you remember, we did a little thing where we pushed down the blocks using a piston. And that's because the level of our lava has to be right here. So if you imagine this level being where the lava needs to be, but of course we can't build it into the lava. So when we're first building it, our lava level is actually right here. So what we do is we build the first part of it minus this right here. And then what we do is we just take a piston and we push it down. So if you imagine right here, this is what we're doing, and we're pushing it down. Then we add the ice, and then we add the piston right there. And so now you can see our lava is at the appropriate level to be able to flow in between the ice and the soul soil. And then what we do is we just build the front part of the machine in the right place, of course, because what we do is we come out by 2, and then we put the slimy piston. Yes, I know it's a sticky piston, but for some reason I always want to call it a slimy piston. So in my brain, it's a slimy piston. And then this is the block right here that, as I said before, we put out by standing on top of our obsidian right there. So I'll just give you guys a quick once around of it again, so you can pause the video anywhere that you need to see what's going on and what I built. Keep in mind that this piston is a regular piston in order to push it in that direction. And then this piston over here is a slimy or sticky piston in order to continue pulling it in that direction. The observers are facing down, which we should have the other observer right here, and I need to make sure that I put these into place so that when I break the slime block, it's not going to move it. But there you go, that is what it looks like. Now let's also talk about the blocks themselves. During the tutorial, I use chisel blocks as my throwaway blocks. Of course, that's just my throwaway block. You can use any block, and because you're in the Nether, I actually recommend that you use some netherite. It's there's tons of it, it's easy to break, and you don't care about it falling into the lava. Slime blocks can be interchanged with honey blocks. You just need to make sure the entire thing is built with the same. Whether you use honey or slime doesn't matter, just make sure you use all of the same, whichever you choose. Make sure your sticky and slime pistons are in the appropriate places, facing the appropriate direction. It has to be blue ice, it cannot be any other ice, and it has to be soul soil, it cannot be soul sand. That is it for this video though, guys. I hope that it helps you out in your survival world. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. If you run into any issues, join the Discord and we'll help you out. We'll try to figure out where you might have gone wrong or where I might have gone wrong. But anyways, guys, that is all for today. I'm AnimusJ. I'll see you next time.